Hey guys, it's G, and today we're making a very colorful swipe. So the recipe for this, if you're using Floetrol, is 2 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint. But if you're not using Floetrol, don't distress, neither am I. I'm using acrylic varnish from Egypt here. Use whatever pouring medium you have available to you. The key here is to get the consistency of the paint. When you drizzle it off the stick back onto the surface of the paint, it should leave a mound that stays on top of the surface for a second to 2 at most. Okay? So don't worry about the Floetrol if you don't have it. Just use whatever pouring medium you have. So I'm using Azo Yellow from Amsterdam, Azo Orange from Art Creations. That's Amsterdam's sister brand, the budget one. Permanent Red Violet Light, that's that magenta looking color. And then Permanent Blue Violet, that's the very dark purple. And then we've got Permanent Blue from Amsterdam and Green Turquoise from Art Creation. All of these colors have a drop of silicone each, mixed into them quite thoroughly because these cups have sat and I've watered them down to get them back to consistency over several days, so they've been mixed in quite a lot. Okay? The white in the base and in the swipe color are the same recipe as the colors, they just don't have silicone in them. So the base protects the canvas or the tile from the silicone oil so it doesn't cause craters, and then the swipe color doesn't have silicone because pretty much all the other colors do. When it comes to where you put the silicone in your swipe, basically the only rule is don't put it in the base. Make sure it doesn't touch the canvas. It can go anywhere else, and it creates very different effects in terms of the colors of the lacing and the colors of the cells. So play around with it. The only rule is just don't put it in the base. Everything else is workable, if you will. So what I'm doing here is I'm tilting a little bit of the excess. We don't have much. I didn't really use that much in the colors. But I find when I tilt this way, I get more of the gradient. If I don't tilt towards where I put down the colors, what I end up with is mostly the first few colors and then everything at the bottom falls off. So now we begin to introduce heat. And if you're not using Floetrol, your canvas will look like mine. The cells don't come to the surface immediately. If you were using Floetrol, by the time you were done with the swipe, your cells will have already hit the surface. Okay? So you'll notice I have a few big ones that kind of came to the surface. That's why they came to the surface, because the droplet was big, so it came to the surface on its own. And then you'll notice that I didn't torch the whole canvas, and I want to show you the idea because cells sort of continue to grow until they either run out of silicone oil or until they hit the lining of another cell and some of that swipe color gets trapped in between, right? So I'm giving these some time to develop while I touch up the sides before I torch the remaining parts and get smaller cells there. And now we'll introduce heat again in these blank spots. And you'll notice a difference in the size of cells because these ones won't have as much room to grow. If you're looking to learn acrylic pouring, I'll leave the link to my online course in the pinned comments below. Look at that. I love the contrasting gradients, that the swipe color is really warm and then the background is really cool. Let me know if you like this. This was G, and I'll see you in the next video.